more than a lesson, I want to use an object illustration this morning, all right? One of the things I want you to see is we say, we just need to learn how to obey God.
Amen.
And we make random statements in church, failing to realize, just like believing is a work, I got news for you. All the things of God are a work.
Amen.
That's right.
And what we will discover is we have been literally in outer space as it relates to God, His Word, and church. All right? And I'll show you what I mean more specifically in just a second. Now, I want to read as we move through. And all Hebrews tried to do is just pull some examples from the Old Testament. Of course, it couldn't list everything.
Right.
Too much stuff happened in the Old Testament too, highlighted in a chapter. It'd be no different if you wrote an autobiography of your own life. It would be impossible for you to detail and chronicle every single thing that has happened from birth to now. And in a book big enough. And newsflash, the stuff you remember, you'd have forgotten more than you remember. Somebody else would have had to been there and said, I can't believe you remember this part. And when you tell the truth, yeah, we run into people in the past and they recount details and you sitting there going, I don't know who they're talking about. They got the wrong person. Now, watch this. Hebrews 11:30, and then we're gonna shift to Joshua and do our experiment this morning. Watch this.
Because of faith, the walls of Jericho fell down after they had been encompassed for 7 days by the Israelites.
Now, and that's all Hebrews has to say about that. All right? Now, Joshua chapter 6. I want you to see clearly what Israel was up against. Now, well, you already know when they were doing the work. So you get an idea. This ceiling is about 7 feet high, right? Now, when they were doing the work up in there, if you move the ceiling tile and look up in there, the original roof is probably about maybe 10 to 11 feet high up there. All right? So now, if you've ever been in a mobile home, a single wide is about 15 feet wide. All right? So we have where the wheels are, from the ground to the top of the mobile park, not the actual roof, is about 10 to 11 feet. All right? The walls of Jericho were about 11 to 13 feet high and about 14 feet wide. Just think about that.
That's thick.
And we won't talk about it today, but it had to be at least that width because a woman and her whole family had a house inside of the wall. So it couldn't have been a 2 feet or a 3 foot thick fence or wall because a whole family is living in the wall. It was designed that way so that no army could penetrate the wall. Now, Jericho had an army, but their defense was predicated on this wall. Then there was a tower that went about 25 feet up above that so that somebody could watch and monitor all the activity outside of the wall. But the word was out that Israel had a God that was fighting for them. And they were on the way to Jericho. So now, man, I wish we lived in such a way till we don't have to worry about folk. When the word of our God gets out, that's all that matters.
That's it.
Watch their reaction. Look at 6:1.
Now Jericho, a fenced town with high walls, was tightly closed because of the Israelites. No one went out or came in.
Did you hear that? Now this is how you understand it. Whenever there's a situation in a school now, what happens?
Lockdown.
What that mean?
Nobody can go in and come out.
See that? Now, that's what that was. That's what verse 1 is. A couple of Thursdays ago, we had somebody did something, and the fire alarm went off at Simpson Place just before TD got there. Well, the way the building is set up, once the alarm goes off, you can't get in.
Can't get out.
Oh, they locked. That place is locked down.
It sure is lockdown.
Now, this is what's going on in verse 1. When they heard Israel was coming, they locked Jericho down. You see what it said? It was tightly closed. Nobody went out. Nobody came in. This is serious business. Now, verses 2, 3, 4, and 5 are God's instructions for Joshua. Now, I want to read it a couple of times because here comes our example. Now, see, so many times we go to church, we have Bible study, we teach, we preach, and we tell people, we got to follow God. And most of the time, we fail in our follow because this is what you know. You didn't even get the instructions right. Now, we see it clearly in the natural. You're trying to explain something to somebody, and they're in such a rush to go. You're like, would you just be still for a minute? You didn't know what I'm asking. I got it. No, you don't.
No, it ain't.
But I mean, and you know because of the anxiousness, you don't know what you're supposed to be doing. So now watch this. As we read these next few verses, listen carefully at God's instructions to Joshua. Here we go.
And the Lord said to Joshua.
Stop. How many of you never heard the story of Joshua and the walls of Jericho? Who hasn't heard it? We done read it, we know the story, we sing songs about it. Joshua fit the battle of Jericho. Okay, let's see what we know then. Come on. The Lord said to Joshua,
See, I have given Jericho, its king and mighty men of valor, into your hands.
stop. What did God just tell him?
Show us.
You ain't shot an arrow, you ain't thrown a rock,
Kill nobody.
you ain't done nothing. But let the record show,
I got your back.
it's already over. Only some of the guys in the boxing, but when Mike Tyson was in his prime, many fights were over when the referee was giving the instructions. The other man wouldn't even look at it. He just staring down. It was over then. God made it clear. Hey, check this out. I've already given. It's already done. The king, the mighty men of valor, all of that. That armor, there ain't nobody. But now that you know that in advance, listen carefully. 3.
You shall march around the enclosure, all the men of war going around the city once.
All right.
This you shall do for 6 days.
All right. We clear? All right. 4. Come on.
And 7 priests shall bear before the ark 7 trumpets of ram horns. And on the 7th day you shall march around the enclosure 7 times. And the priest shall blow the trumpets.
Stop. You good? No, you ain't. Look at it again. Go ahead, read 5 for good measure, and then we'll come back.
When they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and you hear the sound of the trumpet, all the people shall shout with a great shout, and the wall of the enclosure shall fall down in its place, and the people shall go up over it, every man straight before him.
All right. Go back to 2. Now, it's a done deal.
Right.
Now, we know they were told to do what? Once a day.
Walk around it.
And then what was to happen on the seventh day?
March and
Now, look carefully at verses 3 and 4, and I need you, don't holler out, I need you to tell me how the people were ordered and what happened every day. That's all you're responsible for. They just can't run around. They had a structured order. He wanted them to go a certain way, and tell me if anything was done each particular day. These were the instructions of God in verses 3 and 4. Because in verse 5 he said on the seventh day, that's what happened on the seventh day. They're going to shout and the wall's going to fall. But on these 6 days, zoom in on 3 and 4. All right, who ready? It's a 2-question test. Who ready? Okay, come on. You're nodding your head. What's the order?
To walk around.
No.
Starting at verse 3. Right?
3 and 4, yeah.
For 6 days, the men of war.
I need the order. The folk didn't just.
the 7 priests in front of the.
And I can tell you just how that.
I'm sorry.
Y'all what to do with the Lord told me.
Okay, you raise your hand. What is it? What's the order?
Okay.
See, now you're
It's,
frowning.
no, it's the men of war and the priests.
I'm like, why wouldn't it be?
Okay.
Because the men of war are going around once every 6 days, and the priest
No. Who else?
of a priest.
One priest would bear the ark, people.
See, what I'm just talking about, let's just go around. Come on.
That's like what I said.
Oh, come on in. Correct yourself.
Well, obviously I'm wrong.
What were you going to
I
say?
started at verse 3. You like, no. So,
Verse 3, I need the order, though. Who go first?
go all the way up page.
Huh?
Page.
Dog the men,
Go up some.
men,
So march around.
All the men are going, but I thought that the
men
priests
to
were
walk.
going first.
They were going around the
It
city.
says you,
front of the
and I'm
ark,
saying, if he says you, that's to Joshua. You walk around, you shall march around the enclosure, and then all the men of war going around the city once. You shall do this for 6 days.
Give me the order.
That is it.
Okay, who's first?
Joshua.
He ain't standing there by himself. I need the order.
Joshua, the men,
of war.
and then the priests.
All right, that's your answer. All right. Who else? Come on.
Joshua shall march around the enclosed dog city once, shall walk around once.
Once a day. For 6
This
days.
you shall do for 6 days.
Give me the order.
I mean, the walls to do that 6 days.
Said you gotta raise your hand.
You shall march around.
Now you want to read the Bible to me. Anybody else? Come on.
It's Joshua and the men.
You got the order? Why y'all scared? Come on.
Joshua and the men, the priests.
Because as the way with the punctuation, it says you shall march around the enclosure, all the men. It's emphasizing all. That's the first group. Joshua is with all the men. They're all together.
The men of war.
Now, who really saying something right now? Come on.
I see the ark.
Yeah, but what are you seeing? What's going on in this room?
Different.
Oh.
different views.
It ain't a whole bunch of us.
Yeah. You what you said.
Are the instructions complicated?
No. I get what you're saying. No.
Then why are we struggling?
Yeah.
Because now watch this. This is God talking to Joshua. When he finished with God, guess what?
He got it somewhere.
You gotta mess with the people.
Now,
Beat all the men.
now you understand why, Mother Rita, it's important while we go through our week with all the stuff we got going on. See, when somebody got to stand before you with this, if you think this matter to your life, you got to say something to God about that person. So that while you're expecting a word of life, you're not getting the poison of death. Anybody hear nothing I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
If Joshua don't get it, guess what?
People don't get it.
And if they mess up, no victory in God.
Right.
That's a problem.
So now watch this. See, that's why it's important. See, we read it. Now, how you expect it to respond to the Word of God, and you ain't getting the Word of God? All right? So now watch this. Paige said I'm trying not to read it as an English teacher. You know why? Because when we read it grammatically, and they got all the little games on Facebook, do this math, do all of this, and we trying to regroup stuff and all of that, and we done been out of school 100 years and forgot all of that.
Right.
Now, hold that. We got to come right back to that. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. This is so important, church. And we still got to figure out the order. All right? Now, this is primarily to the preacher, the teacher, the Bible instructor, but you got to know this as well. Watch this.
Study and be eager, and do your utmost to present yourself to God, approved, tested by trial.
Now, this is an old preacher, Paul, talking to a young preacher, Timothy. Now, in the church when we were growing up, Jamie, we used to say, God called me to preach. God does not call a man to preach. God calls a man or woman to prepare. Because if you don't prepare, you ain't got nothing to say. Right. He calls us to prepare. He says your calling is to study and get yourself together, and you stay in the classroom how long?
Until you're approved by God.
God will tell you when you're ready. A workman what?
Who has no cause to be ashamed.
What makes a man or woman ashamed?
They didn't study.
When you stand up before folk like you supposed to know what you're talking about, and the student have to correct you. That's embarrassing. You're ashamed because you didn't have your lesson. Watch this. Correctly
Analyzing,
and
accurately dividing, rightly handling, and skillfully teaching the word of truth.
correctly analyzing and accurately dividing. All of that's in the King James says rightly dividing the word of truth. You know why? Because Sister Carolyn, the Bible don't come pre-divided. God teaches the man and the woman of God how to listen to him to divide it correctly. Because you can look at it grammatically, you can look at it from an English perspective, from all of that. But see, if that's not the eyes of God,
Nope. Yep.
now, go back to Joshua 6. Now, so far what we got? What is clear is, who in the front?
Joshua from the men.
Why?
Because he got the message from God.
All of that. He's not only God's man, he's the leader. Say it again.
He got the message from him.
He the one who knows
They are.
how this thing is supposed to go.
Amen.
And because he's the leader, guess what the folk need him to be?
At the front.
Out in the front. So whatever happens, we are following. So now, without being funny or technical, so now if we were really trying to put the screws to it, who really out in front?
God.
Right there.
God.
Because if Joshua ain't following, we all messed up. So we don't understand. It's a given. God is out front. Right behind God is
Joshua.
Now here comes the problem. Now who's behind Joshua? Now that's what we can't agree on.
The men of war.
Now, zoom in on verses 3 and 4 because he gonna tell the people something in just a second. Now so far, somebody said the army is behind Joshua because of verse 3.
Right.
You shall march around the enclosure. All the men of war going around the city. So you got Joshua, then you got the men, and in your mind, according to verse 4, then who would come? We're gonna read it in English.
The people.
How many?
7.
With what?
They are.
7 priests with what?
Trump.
Yeah, these 7 priests ain't carrying the ark. 7 priests shall bear before the.
Are. The are.
So now they're in front of it.
Right. Right.
7 trumpets and ram's horns. So that you can't blow trumpets and carry the ark.
Somebody is carrying.
Somebody is carrying it out.
So now what is clear is we got 7 priests with trumpets. They just for sound purposes only. And behind them,
Is the ark
Is the ark.
of covenant.
now who was in the ark?
Who was
In
in
it?
the ark?
Yeah.
Or carrying it? You mean in it? What God?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The ark ain't just a box for nothing. It represents something.
yeah.
No, the ark has the commandments.
All that, but it represents what?
God.
So now, this symbolizes the presence of God in this ark. So you got 7 trumpets, 7 priests with 7 trumpets, and however many priests, somebody is carrying the ark of the covenant that represents the presence of God. So now, I should make a lot of work. So now, is God behind the army or in front of the
He's
army?
in front. He's in front.
See, y'all hollering out, but y'all,
Everywhere.
see, if we're going to follow God, the instructions got to be clear. Well, y'all hollering out. So God is leading, Joshua's following. Now who's behind Joshua?
The people. People?
He can't be behind Joshua and in front of him.
All around. He all around. Everywhere.
Y'all all biblical and technical. I need you better get this order.
Yeah. That's what that is. Get the order right. You're right.
See, and while that sounds good, Price, as a believer traveling, my confidence has to be in God being,
Right.
because I know what it is. If he behind me, that means
I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm leading.
I'm leading.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, more importantly, what TD just said, if he behind me and I'm leading,
I'm in trouble.
I'm in trouble. God the pilot, I'm the co-pilot. This plane finna crash.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
I don't know if y'all watched up. Hey, the co-pilot have a lot to do with what's going on in that cockpit.
Yes, he did.
If I got to help God fly this plane, we finna crash. No, just we gonna die. God ain't gonna die.
Right.
That's a drag. When they find this plane, the whole plane gonna be tore up except wherever God was sitting. Hold on! So even if we look at verse 4, look at verse 4 by itself. What do we have? How many?
7.
With what?
7 trumpets and ram's horns.
And then? Now, it was 2 poles.
Right.
One on each side, one long pole. There's 4 holes in the Ark of the Covenant.
Right.
So at a bare minimum, 4 priests carried the Ark of the Covenant. At a bare minimum. So I got 7 trumpet blowing priests, and then right behind them,
Is the ark.
because it says, shall bear before.
Right.
So we got Joshua, we got the army, we got 7 trumpets, and we got somebody carrying the Ark of the Covenant. Now what's important is, where's God? Because it ain't just, well, y'all just, just fit in somewhere, just get in somewhere.
Follow the leader, line up in order. Structured order.
Y'all ain't been to no parade, you ain't been to no parade. You don't just get in wherever.
It's an order.
And the people need to know,
Where they line up.
because when you don't,
Yeah.
what you doing way up here? I don't know where I'm supposed to be. And when you don't know
Line up.
you mess the parade up. You done seen marching bands. See, when you go by, that stuff look nice. How many know the hours? Somebody had to,
Put in.
Coordinate all that.
so that you ain't just running into each other and bumping into each other because, hey man, you got so many steps and you got to turn right here. So many steps and you got to turn right here. Man, you done counted that stuff out of your sleep. This ain't just random. Man, they doing all kind of moves and spelling all kinds of names. The order is important. Watch this. What we got? So are the priests before the army, or is the army before the priest? Okay, I got one that says the army is before the priest. So according to Tracy, I got Joshua, the army, the 7 priests, and then the Ark of the Covenant. That's what Tracy said.
I don't think the priest
I
would
think-
be behind
Yeah, behind
the
the
men.
army.
That's what he said. Anybody, hold on, anybody agree with him? Now y'all did 5 minutes ago.
Based on what we read, but when you think about it,
Got to be behind.
So he out there by himself. He in the island. Okay, well, what's the order then? Well, if it ain't that, what we got? Joshua then what?
Then the priest.
Don't they can hear you whispering in the camera. Aaron said Joshua then what?
The priest.
Which ones?
The 7.
The 7 trumpet one police. Then what?
Whoever's covering them.
The Ark of the Covenant. Then what?
Then the army.
You gotta have the army.
Well, it's one or the other.
a man of war.
Why would the army be at the back?
Watch this. Now, see what happens? Oh, ain't no women out here.
No.
This is about fighting in a few minutes. Watch this. Listen to this carefully. This is why you wind up with church meetings and you have splits and divisions, because we've been here over 25 minutes trying to figure out the order of God from 2 verses. So see, you think it's so simple when a preacher read a verse, this is what the Lord said. Then you go and tell me, I don't think that's what it say. Now we got an issue. Because this is what I want you to see. Look at verse 6.
So Joshua, son of Nun, called the priests and said to them,
Stop. Now he finna give instruction. But he can't give instruction if
No.
it's got to be clear or straight in.
It's mine.
Now let's see what he says. He told the priest what?
he said to them, take up the Ark of the Covenant, and let 7 priests bear 7 trumpets of ram horns before the Ark of the Lord.
So watch this. According to verse 6, where the priest at?
No.
How are they ordered in this verse 6?
Behind Joshua.
He told the 7 trumpet blowing priests to do what?
Take up the Ark of the Covenant.
That ain't what he said. He
Oh,
tells
regular
the priest,
Oh, and let 7. Okay.
y'all make sure the Ark of the Covenant is picked up, and then let 7 priests with trumpets go where?
Before.
What does before mean?
In front of.
He confirmed what God said. I need 7 trumpet blowing priests to get in front of the Ark of the Covenant It ain't but 4 children that will carry the ark. So I got 7 in front, 4 behind, carry the ark of the covenant. That's the first thing he told the priest.
Yeah.
Verse 7.
He said to the people, go on, march around the enclosure, and let the armed men pass on before the ark of the Lord.
Now what we got?
Now we got the. Now
He
we
got
got the.
people on his side,
Armed men, that's the army.
and the armed
They want to
men,
pass. They
the
want to
armed
pass.
men went
Passed on.
before the ark of the
They
Lord.
want to pass.
Mm-hmm. So
And
they
that
stopped.
means they're in front of
They
the
want
ark.
to pass.
They're in front of the ark.
Pass on.
This is a military
before.
campaign. You've got to have your army up front. You can't have your military in the back.
Let the armed men. He said to the people, go on. Get to the march
So
around
now the people are in
enclosure,
front.
and-
The people are in front.
And let the armed men pass on.
The people are
We
in front.
we can handle this version.
To me, that's clear cut. You run a military campaign.
Now, newsflash. We ain't marched yet.
We lining up.
Now, watch this. Don't miss this. See, Mother Deborah, if God tell me, okay, the new place y'all going, I need you to do just what Joshua did for Jericho. We got problems.
Yeah.
We can't even.
Figure out the order.
Because watch this. So when he goes to tell the people, it's got to be clear. God gave him order, and it's important for him to give the same order to the people. Now, here's the church semantics of what we want to play. Front, back, or indifferent. Where God is irrelevant to this degree. As long as he was there,
Mm-hmm.
it's clear. He don't want to do what's going to be done. But the order is clear. Now you just read it. Let the armed men pass after. What do on before mean?
Get in front.
Don't walk past.
Now, if the armed men are before the ark of the Lord, who else are they in front of?
The priest.
The priest.
The priest.
The 7 trumpet blowing priests.
Exactly.
Now, this is what I want you to get to. I want you to develop a confidence in God. I told you it was an illustration. Rosalind started out right, but because I shook her down, she shut down. I need you to know what you know and know it in God's word, and then I don't care what nobody says. The King of England could be talking about that ain't what that say. You know what? It may not say it to you, but I know what it say to me. I don't need another human to confirm what God has confirmed in me. You missed that. See, when God speaks a word to you, Dana, God alone can confirm that word. I don't need another human to validate God.
Right.
Oh. When we look to other people to validate God, I'll tell you what happens almost all the time. We unvalidate God. Watch this. Now, let's back up. When they do this marching, who's watching?
Jericho.
Jericho. What does Jericho know?
They around the enclosure.
They heard about what these people
So all they got is rumors.
Yeah.
They ain't seen God. They don't know God. They ain't never encountered God. But at the end of the day, their army is ready
Yeah.
in their mind to fight Israel's army. It's two parts of the question. I asked you for the order, and then I asked you what happened every day. Let's read 8, 9, and 10. Watch this.
When Joshua had spoken to the people, the 7 priests bearing the 7 trumpets of ram's horns passed on before the Lord and blew the trumpets, and the ark of the covenant of the Lord followed them.
9.
The armed men went before the priests who blew the trumpets, and the rear guard came after the ark, the priests blowing the trumpets as they went.
Now what you see?
Ah, okay. The ark is in the back.
There were rear guards behind the ark. Ah. Split up.
Ooh, y'all make classwork hard. I'm trying to show you something.
They had armed men in front, armed men in the back.
CONTEXT. Is everything. When we're reading, when we're studying, when we're processing the things of God, Mother Deborah, we'll read 2 verses and we see the whole vision of God. Newsflash. No, you don't. If I'm going to get my best understanding, Dana, I need to read So now, we know God is leading. You have Joshua. You have armed men. You have 7 trumpets. You have the Ark of the Covenant. And then you have the rear guard. That's the order of the people. Well, see, you can't get an understanding of that in the verses we read. You got to keep. You know how much stuff of God's word we missed because it was 12 verses and we stopped at verse 4? Because we believe we had a full
Understand.
We done built ministries and teaching tools. We done wrote books off of these first 4 verses because I see the plan of God. Only to discover, if you read these other verses, look at verse 10.
But Joshua commanded the people, "You shall not shout or let your voice be heard, nor shall any word proceed out of your mouth until the day I tell you to shout. Then you shall shout."
11.
So he caused the ark of the Lord to go around the city once, and they came into the camp and lodged in the camp.
12.
Joshua rose early in the morning, and the priests took up the ark of the Lord.
13.
And the 7 priests bearing the 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of the Lord passed on, blowing the trumpets continually. And the armed men went before them, and the rear guard came from after the ark of the Lord, the priests blowing the trumpets as they went.
Question. So after reading those verses, I need you to zoom in to verse 10 and verse 13. Was any noise made on the 6 days of the marching?
No.
Go up to verse 10. What did he tell the people?
Don't say nothing.
Shout.
So I was related to the men. What was clear?
Don't shout.
Stealth.
Can't say.
Nothing.
Go to verse 13. What about the priest though?
They were blowing trumpets.
I just asked you, was any noise made in those 6 days? Now, so you scared now. Look at verse 14.
On the second day, they compassed the city enclosure once and returned to the camp. So they did for 6 days.
So 13 and 14 go together. So they were actually blowing.
Horns for 6 days.
Now, ask the question. Why were they blowing the trumpet?
It was instructed to go.
What is all this anyway?
Instructions.
Yeah, what does this mean to the inhabitants of Jericho?
Prelude. It's a prelude.
That
Don't mean nothing to them.
Hey man, they done been in fights and wars before, but never.
like this.
Like this. Yeah.
What is this foolishness? When they blew the trumpet, guess what? Everybody in Jericho heard it.
Mm-hmm.
Now they all came to the wall, everybody looking, and the people, all they're doing is blowing the trumpet. You got all these soldiers, just one circle around, ain't said, what is this foolishness? They make one circle, they go back to camp. Watch this. Go back up. Now, well, we read 15 and we're almost there. Let's go to 15 then.
On the 7th day, they rose early at daybreak and marched around the city as usual. Only
So
on
wait. On the 7th day, they what?
Marched
rose
around.
early.
At
Daybreak.
for 6 straight days, they got up
Early.
early. If you was trying to sleep, time to wake up. Which I don't know how you sleep when the enemy right outside the gate. You don't look at the
Nah, you got
This is what you wake up to for 6 straight days. and they just kept blowing continually. That's a lot of trumpet blowing. This is a big city, y'all. They marched however many soldiers it is. We got to blow this trumpet until each soldier make one complete. That's a lot of marching. And they ain't said
Nothing.
See, it'd be hard for a church to get victory if those were the same instructions as us today. I just need y'all to walk and don't say nothing. Why we can't talk? Defeat.
I'm tired.
Have you heard anybody say anything? No, just you. We couldn't do it. We supposed to be quiet the whole circle? Yeah, the whole circle. That's two folk dead right there. On the seventh day, they rose early. Daybreak, it was still dark. Come on, they marched
around the city as usual. Only on that day they compassed the city 7 times.
Can you see the people of Jericho talking about? What's going on? They just did one day all the other days. Why are they doing extra days? Why they get extra rounds? They still ain't said nothing, y'all. I mean, you don't only take Jamie one time. They don't go home today. On a second time. A third time. You don't only take to march around this big old city 5 times. 6 times. Ain't nobody said nothing. You just everybody watching. What in the world? 16.
And the 7th time, when the priests had blown the trumpet, Joshua said to the people, "Shout, for the Lord has given you the city.
17.
And the city and all that is in it shall be devoted to the Lord for destruction. Only Rahab the harlot and all who are with her in her house shall live, because she hid the messengers whom we sent."
I can't deal with that today. We'll talk about that next time. Go to verse 20.
So the people shouted, and the trumpets were blown. When the people heard the sound of the trumpet, they raised a great shout, and Jericho's wall fell down in its place, so that the Israelites went up into the city, every man straight before him, and they took the city.
No. Some of y'all came along afterwards. I told you, they have excavated, and there are certain parts. This wall was about 11 to 13 feet high and about 14 feet wide. Ain't no way. Just from the sound of an army, a wall would fall flat. Ain't no way. Ain't no way you can just, with dynamite or nothing, even money, ain't no way you can get a wall of a city to fall flat. Because I told you, a woman and her whole family lived in a house within the wall. Now you see in God, all this is connected. It's solid.
Yeah.
But when they shouted, all of the whole wall around the entire city fell except where her house was. What?
God.
Lord.
Look at it. Every man went straight before him. He ain't got to go around pieces of building and stuff. Every piece of the wall fell flat. They just walked straight on into the city. A wall that they had depended upon for years as their ultimate.
Keep them safe. Defense.
Ain't nobody
That will penetrate.
been able to get through this.
Right.
Now, when you make a noise and the wall fall down, what are we supposed to do behind that?
Raise your hand. Surrender.
Watch this. 21, watch this.
Pastor, so were they even ready? Because they just felt safe with
Was
the
who
wall.
ready?
The you know how you just, although you heard all of that, you just felt safe because they ain't coming in here, you know?
Go back to verse 1. I'm going to show you what Jericho was ready for. Watch this. Look at that.
Now Jericho, a fenced town with high walls, was tightly closed because of the Israelites.
That's what Jericho was ready for. If I had any kind of confidence, I'll open the gate and come out and fight. But what is clear is,
It wasn't ready.
we done closed every door because we believe our gate
Yeah.
is going to save us today.
Right.
Anybody get in here? That was their confidence. Shame on them. You put a wall up against God. Come on.
Can you imagine they looked on their face
Yeah.
and everything fell down?
Yeah.
You know, can they imagine? Because what, and y'all watch this, we're looking but we ain't listening. Because see, some of us, we got walls up because of various reasons, and God is not trying to destroy us, He's just trying to get us out from behind these walls.
Yeah.
And so yeah, imagine the look on our face when God make our walls come down.
Yeah.
A wall that we had thought was going to be our defense. I'll never let nobody hurt me. I'll never let nobody do me like that again. I never let nobody in my life. I never let nobody, and God said, no, I need this person in your life.
Yeah.
And since you won't take the wall down, I'm going to make the wall come down.
Yeah.
And you be like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I can't, I'm so vulnerable, I'm so open. God said, you ain't open. I'm your protection, not the wall.
That's right.
Now, going back up to wherever we stopped at. Yeah, they didn't know no better than yeah. They don't have no defense. And they like the soldiers behind the wall talking about, I wish they would come in here. No, they got the door shut because they know
Yeah, ain't nobody.
this is it. And when the wall fall down from a shout, did you see that? All they did was shout it behind the trumpet, and the whole wall fell flat.
You know.
What are we supposed to do with this? Ain't nothing left. That's why the conquest, 21. Then
they utterly destroyed all that was in the city, both man and woman, young and old, ox, sheep, and donkey, with the edge of the sword.
and people think that's heartless, that's cold-blooded, but see, in the military, that's the way it goes.
That's the way it goes. That's the way
See,
it
watch this. See, when you kill everybody, you sleep that night.
Right.
It ain't none in the morning.
You done crushed all opposition.
See, now, let me tell you something. You fool around, whatever the war is. See, at one time, it almost shouldn't be no France. We killed almost every man in France. But then America wanted to turn around and feel sorry. You spared the women and kids.
Come on now.
When them boys grow up and realize what you did to their daddy, guess what? They ain't finna come have no party with you or for you. Everybody hear what I'm saying? God said nobody got time for that nonsense. See, Jamie, when you kill everybody, you sleep good that night. You know why? Because in the morning, guess what?
Ain't nobody,
You ain't got no enemy.
nobody gonna challenge you.
The men, the women. Watch this. Ain't no discrimination. They take all the spirit, love, and war. Young and ox, sheep, don't kill them all. We read a few verses earlier. This land was set for the destruction by the Lord. And it happened just like God said it would. Now, we took a lot of time on instruction on the front part. God had more instruction because when we don't understand a thing on the front end, there's going to be problems.
Back in.
Go to verse 17. Watch this.
And the city and all that is in it shall be devoted to the Lord for destruction.
Which means, what God wanted to be. You see that? Watch this. Now, look at 18.
But you keep yourselves from the
Accursed.
accursed and devoted things, lest when you have devoted it to destruction, you take of the accursed thing, and so make the camp of Israel accursed and troubled.
He just told you, whatever's in this city is what?
Accursed.
What is that in English? Ain't for you. Now, if you take it, devoted is to do something, you think you'll do something good with it.
Right.
Lest when you have devoted it, but you thought you done brought something into your house for good,
Right.
what did you bring into your house? It said, now you thought you devoted it, but you devoted it to something to get tore up in here. Because that wasn't supposed to be in your house. Watch this, 19.
But all the silver and gold and vessels of bronze and iron are consecrated to the Lord. They shall come into the treasury of the Lord.
So now watch this. See, if we had some hang-ups on instructions on the front end now, clearly.
Yeah.
Now, God just said the city is set up for destruction. We got that. But now 19 said, all
Silver and gold.
and
Vessels of
Iron
belong.
to the Lord.
So when you see any of this,
Get it.
right, Dana, get it, but watch this. Get it for
Lord.
it ain't.
Yours.
The treasury of
That's
the
it.
Lord.
Right there.
So now all your killing, when you go in the house and boom, 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 you done killed a man, a woman, all his kids, and he got 10 tons of gold sitting up here. Guess what?
It ain't yours. Don't take nothing, hide it.
See, we laugh and joke, but see, you know, when police make a raid and it's drugs and money and guns in here, whoever make the stop got to count this.
Right.
Now, when you made this raid, and Jamie, it was $10 million in here cash, and you start counting, now is it 10 million?
So 4 million.
See, y'all laughing?
2 million.
That's why some of us can't be in the raid. Yeah. Is it 10 million?
$1.
This 12, is it 2 million? Because when you make the raid, don't nobody know what's in here but you. You got to count this.
Right.
Do we need to count 10 million or do we need to just count 1 million?
Yeah.
Did we find 100 kilos of cocaine or was it just 2 in here? Y'all ain't saying nothing. Watch this. Watch this. Oh my gosh. The city was cursed. 7, we're gonna read fast. Gotta go. Go to 7:1. All I wanted to show you in the front part is, see, when the instructions aren't clear, that means somebody is going to do something different. And when you watch the chorus lines of the showgirls, and it's 100 women, and 99 of them kicked up, but 1 didn't, guess what? It messed. Watch this, rest one, come on.
But the Israelites committed a trespass in regard to the devoted things.
Wait. What is that in English?
They took the money.
Somebody. Come on.
For Achan, son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, the son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah.
That's the Bible term of, they took his fingerprint. You know, you do your fingerprint at the scene of a crime, you are
Suspect.
Guilty.
Yeah, you are. Watch this. That's all that means. When you got all that information on somebody, I know who your daddy is, your daddy, your daddy. I know what tribe you from. That's the Bible term for Troy. They got his fingerprints. And the anger
took some of the things devoted for destruction. And the anger of the Lord burned against Israel.
He took it because he thought it would
Right.
benefit him.
Yes.
Watch this. I ain't gonna read all that. Now, yeah. Go to verse 20.
And Achan answered Joshua, in truth, I have sinned against the Lord, the God of Israel, and this have I done.
Watch. Wait. Okay, I done messed up against you, Joshua. God gave this order. But see, here's the problem. God didn't tell Achan directly.
Right.
And that's what all of us think. Because God told Joshua, Joshua explains to the priest explains to the people. See, by the time Achan hears it, you know, if I do it, I do it. Paul, if I don't, it ain't like God himself said it. Okay. You talking good. I have sinned against the Lord. This is what I did. 21.
When I saw among the spoils an attractive mantle from Shinar, and 200 shekels of silver, and a bar of gold weighing 50 shekels, I coveted them and took them.
What does coveted mean?
One of them.
Now, Shinar, that's a Babylonian word. He saw a Babylonian scarf, if you will, a mantle. Where was he going to wear this? You couldn't buy this in none of the Israelite stores. So the first day toy you stepped out with it, everybody in the country was going to know where you got it from. This clothing should have been destroyed. Watch this. But you also saw 200
shekels of silver
and
a bar of gold weighing 50 shekels.
That's a lot of gold. Watch this. Now what's wrong with the silver and gold? You were supposed to get that and take it to the treasury of the Lord, but you took it to the treasury. You know what he said? Now it is $10 million worth of cash in here, but it's really only $4 million. Ain't nobody gonna even miss.
Right. The other. The difference.
Come on. We do it all the time. You at work. You open up a box of pens. It's 50 pens in this box.
Right.
You put 2 in your purse. They ain't gonna miss these 2. Act like you ain't never said it. Act like you ain't never done it. Then they sent you to the store when we got something. You open up the box. There was 100 in there. Ain't nobody gonna miss this one box. It's 99 other boxes in here. Act like you ain't said it or done it.
Oh, yeah. All day long.
All that y'all say, I should have made the camera pan on y'all. They ain't gonna miss this.
Truth hurts.
And while the job wasn't looking, see, y'all watch this. We finna pray. You know, when we find stuff, it is the result of somebody else's negligence.
Yeah.
Somebody at my son's school lost $20. He was walking and walked up Mother Deborah on a $20 bill. He went into the office and told one of the counselors, somebody lost $20. Now, see, I already know what some of y'all thinking. I wish I would. Find $20 blowing in the wind. I'm finna praise the Lord. I just got my blessing. But what he realized was somebody lost that money, whatever it was for. And what we try to teach our kids now, if you had lost, that was your 20. What would you want somebody to do?
Right.
Do you want somebody celebrating because they found? He gave the 20 back. He gave the 20 to the counselor. And I don't know how long it was. When I said 2 weeks later, nobody claimed it. And so he was just in there. He didn't forget all about it. The counselor said, hey, I forgot to tell you. Then nobody claimed this 20, so here this 20 back to you. See, now, when we have opportunity to do right,
Please do it.
God turns right around.
Right. Amen.
All right? Now, and see, when we do what we're supposed to do, toil on God's end, this is what God does when we don't know what's going on. My wife and kids, when someone got someone out of the bank, and so a 20 got away from Karen, and she couldn't figure out what had happened. One day during the day. And so we've gone through all of that day, and we're into the night of another day. And so in the dark, Karen goes outside to do something.
Come on now.
And where you check the water meter at, it's dark. The grass is green and it's still dark. God tells Karen to look over there by where you look to check the water at, and when Karen looks over there, it's a $20 bill right there.
Nobody but God.
Hallelujah.
You don't lose a $20 bill out in the street, and God just makes sure with all the wind and everything else going, and everything else that's blowing, no, you don't blow. I need you to stay right here, because I got somebody that needs to find this in the dark. Because when God is for you,
Amen.
it don't matter what nobody else say. We all pass the time. Come on.